All right. So, Dr. J, in thinking about all of this stuff around healthcare and long term care and all of this, what's going to happen to me when I'm older, is there someone that I can have to help me figure out my care as I get older?
Yeah, so this is one of those weird things that people don't think about. So when you get a long-term care plan, it usually comes with a care coordinator or a geriatric care manager or social worker or some type of like that answer. And by the way, these people are hard to find and worth their weight in gold. So let me talk about this as your parents because I've been caring for my mother. She's been disabled most of my life. I had to call 911 when I was 16, so it's been a lot of years. And it's hard. Okay, navigating the healthcare system, it's broken. Okay, it's just there's no other word for it. And then we get insurance. Well, who paid this and what? And then we got Medicare. And we got this is a nightmare. So I have to do this for my mom all the time. And there's a thing called caregiver fatigue, and it is real. Okay, I mean at some point you just can't do it. So if you're caring for a loved one or you're worried about yourself, you want to find a geriatric care manager. And there's a website I'll include. It's called aginglifecare.org. Don't make anything for referring people, just a reference. There are people whose this is their job. So you can start with in your local community, there may actually be a social worker who's dedicated to this. Sometimes they're like located in the senior center. They may have actually a connection in your local area. And that's somebody who can help you with like, how do I file for Medicare? And what do I do? And how do I get Meals on Wheels? Or all of those things. A geriatric care manager is next step up. So you're paying them, not cheap. I'm just being honest, not cheap. There's a social worker, nurse, something along those lines. You want one that is not part of the health system you're going to be working in. So like, hey, your mom's going to XYZ healthcare. You do not want somebody from there because you want them to be able to fight with them. I mean, and literally, this is their job is to fight with them. And we're here in 2022, and one of my colleagues, a great example is her grandmother has some caregivers coming to their house, and then she caught COVID. And then all the caregivers are like, I'm not coming back in. They call the geriatric care manager. Care manager's like, no problem. Got masks, got gloves, got new caregivers, all taken care of. If you had to figure that out on your own, I have no clue where to start. And it's also things like, well, do they need to be in a nursing home, and how do they get the car, and what type of care, and then we get into healthcare billing. Oh, I got $100,000 bill from the hospital. I'm not joking. That was somebody that actually called me. I got $100,000 bill from the hospital. What do I do? Well, the first answer is stop. Don't pay that because chances are the insurance didn't pay it. You got to have somebody who's going to fight that. And then it's also all of the care they're getting. Well, is this doctor talking to that doctor? Do they understand this surgery is going on? And you need somebody on your team. That's what the geriatric care manager is. I've been watching prices, $100 an hour or better. I mean, we're talking expensive, but worth every penny when you find the right one. You can also find geriatric care managers that will handle like house things, like getting a cleaner. They might also handle bills. So they may have somebody separate to do that. Pay grandma's bills, pay your bills. So it's somebody you can use. Now, here's the trick. The trick is to keep your ears open now for somebody that's already got one. So if you can find like a friend of a friend knows somebody, that's how these people work. And you just need that number, like you need that business card in your wallet, well, or your phone. But I mean, you need to have that for whenever something happens. Once you find somebody, you do not let go. Like you just, it's kind of, they're going to be your savior for this. Now, the other thing you can do, and I want you to think a lot about this, if you're caring for others or worried about your care, is pay people to do stuff. Care.com is the website for that. You can grab people. Look, if you're caring for your grandmother, your mother, your parents, whatever, you don't want to be cleaning the house and mowing the lawn and doing all that stuff too. You want to care for your loved one. You need to spend the money. So I don't know. This is just kind of my own bias, but look, my grandmother needed care. She had some money, didn't want to be in a nursing home. Like she just absolutely. So we took her money and paid for 24-hour care for her for years. When she died, there was like nothing left over. But you know what? It was her money. And that's what she wanted. She wanted the care at home and she wanted it coordinated. And it just worked out well. Um, there are some of the family, I'm sure they'll be like, well, I didn't get my inheritance. It ain't your inheritance until she dies, okay? It's her money. So spend the money to get support. And if you go, well, I can take care of grandma for now, or I can take care of my parents for now. Yeah, until something happens or until things go, that's what these people are for. Geriatric care managers, caregivers, people at home, whatever it is, you just want to figure it out before things get bad. And you want to be able to do that. You're probably not going to be able to find your own geriatric care manager to take care of you, but you can find take care of your loved ones. And then they're in the family. So, we can always.
Yeah, so that was what one question that came up for me is I feel like a lot of the other things that you and I have talked about with wills and power of attorney and living wills, these are all things that we need to be getting set up as soon as possible. But for the geriatric care manager, this would be someone who you aren't contacting until you need it or your parents need it.
Yeah. So when the care gets kind of fancy, let's call it that, in the healthcare, when you got like the booklet of appointments you're trying to watch for your parents, that's when you need it. But the bigger thing is, got to know who they are. And this is completely local. Like they'll only handle like your town, even, or just your county. So it's more of just like having somebody on speed dial. All's fails. You can go to that Aging Life Care website. They've got some things, but I'd much rather have somebody we know. So more, I'm just trying to get you to think about it because one of your friends is caring for one of their elderly parents. They might have somebody, and that referral is going to be great when you need it.
All right. Well, thanks, Dr. J.